Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll explore the 7 key differences between population and sample in research. Firstly, the population refers to the entire group of individuals that a researcher is interested in studying. A sample, on the other hand, is a smaller subset of the population that is chosen to represent the whole group. The size of the population is usually much larger than the size of the sample. When conducting research on a population, it is often impractical or impossible to study every individual, so researchers select a sample to study instead. Sampling allows researchers to study a smaller group and still draw valid conclusions about the larger population. The first difference between population and sample is that the population is the complete set of individuals, while a sample is a portion of that population. Another difference is that studying a population is more time-consuming and expensive compared to studying a sample. In research, it is crucial to ensure that the sample is representative of the population to avoid bias. A key distinction is that when conducting research on a population, researchers use statistical methods to generalize their findings to the entire population. Research on a sample provides useful information about the sample group itself but cannot be directly generalized to the larger population. It is important to note that researchers must carefully select a sample to ensure that it adequately represents the population and doesn't introduce bias. Sampling methods play a crucial role in ensuring the accuracy and validity of research findings. One difference is that the population parameter is the value that describes the entire population, while the sample statistic is the value that describes the sample group. Another distinction is that population characteristics are usually more stable compared to sample characteristics, which can vary due to random selection. Population data is often more difficult to obtain, whereas sample data is easier to collect, analyze, and interpret. Researchers must exercise caution when extrapolating findings from a sample to the larger population, as it can lead to inaccurate or misleading conclusions. Sampling techniques, such as random sampling, stratified sampling, or cluster sampling, are used to minimize bias and ensure representative samples. One key difference is that inferential statistics are used to make inferences about the population based on the characteristics of a sample. Sampling error is another distinction, referring to the difference between the characteristics observed in a sample versus the characteristics in the population. Understanding the differences between population and sample is crucial for designing and interpreting research accurately. In conclusion, while the population refers to the entire group of individuals, a sample is a smaller subset chosen to represent that population in research. By selecting a representative sample and using statistical methods, researchers can make valid inferences about the larger population.